Clear skies to everyone. And today I have privilege to talk with Hank Fridell. Welcome, Hank.
Welcome, Joseph. How are you today?
I am fine, thanks. Hank, where are you?
I'm in Custer, South Dakota. I think I'm about on the far western edge of the North Central Astronomy League group. And so it's a cloudy day today.
Well, but you have beautiful background. I have background basically map of all region, and you are at very west area, and not only that, you are in different time zone.
We're in mountain time, yes.
Okay, but my understanding is that the only west part of South Dakota is on mountain time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, and again, I am excited that I can talk with somebody so vast. So basically we have that point in a very south, very west part of our region. How come that we are talking about astronomy? How it happened in that you are interested in astronomy?
Well, I can begin. I can show you the image that's behind me. That's Messier number 5. I took that this month. I have a little observatory in my backyard where I have a Celestron 8-inch telescope and I can control it from inside my home. And so I actually with the it's hard to tell how many nights a month you can get out and do that. I use a color camera, and so I'm only able to usually get out about 3, 4 nights a month and do captures. But it all started for me, I think, in the 1950s and 60s when you start hearing about Sputnik. All of a sudden, in the 60s, we were waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch the Gemini flights go up, and it was so exciting. And so as a child, I had those planispheres that you hold up in the sky, to so that you can find things, and get oriented. And eventually, I ended up getting applications for my phone to find things. But it was actually the Black Hills Astronomical Society that got me interested because they held an event where their members went out to look at a transit of Mercury in front of the sun in 2019, and I realized earlier that I could take my phone and put it up to an eyepiece and try and take a picture. And out of the, I don't know, 50 to 100 pictures that I took that day, two of them turned out where I could actually see Mercury against the sun. And I was kind of hooked at that point. Uh, and I started showing up at their events. The pandemic showed up in 2020, and I thought I'm going to be spending a lot of time at home in the evening, and so I bought a 8-inch Celestron, and and it kind of just took off from there. I've kept on adding equipment. I got started out with a little security camera to do some astrophotography, and I eventually bought a Malincam camera, and I ended up taking an old duck blind, plastic duck blind that you can buy, and where I could remove the roof, and I put my telescope inside there, and then I dug trenches from my house to the telescope so I could control it in the middle of the winter, and it just kind of grown from there.
So you are now a really serious astronomer, I mean, because
Uh,
what do you do? You have your own observatory. But my understanding is that basically you are astronomer all your life, or interested in astronomy
I was interested, yes.
and celestial events, and now I don't know how many years you are a member of. Black Hills Astronomy Society, and
Since about 2020,
okay, okay, okay. So,
six
so,
years.
so this is good to know, and always is good to be part of a group of people like that. How many members roughly?
We have about 70 paid members.
Oh, this is
Okay.
nice.
But like with most organizations, about a quarter of them show up for stuff. Some people join because they want to support us in
Yeah.
our efforts. Some people they show up for all the star parties and they bring their telescopes and volunteer for a lot of things. And so uh, we're a fairly, we're a group that has been around since about the mid 1950s. And so we have a pretty long history in the community. And in the 1960s, we ended up building an observatory on some property that the Catholic Church leases to us on the outskirts of Rapid City. And that first telescope was a 12 and a half inch telescope that was hand ground by one of our members who is still a member.
Wow.
And so we
So
have a
let me ask you. So we built. So you own that observatory, right?
we own the building, but the property belongs to the Catholic Church. We lease it.
Okay. So is there like what is that agreement? Is it for 99 years or how?
Every year we renew the lease,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and it's a nominal fee. I mean, it's pocket change in comparison to what a piece of property would cost us. And we couldn't do it without the support of the community.
Okay. Okay, so you said that you or one of the members actually grind mirror and for telescope, right?
Actually, in the 60s, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even 80s and 90s, we had members who were grinding their own mirrors. That's kind of how people that didn't have a lot of money, and were handymen. It's one of the things about this hobby is that it is filled with people who are handymen and handywomen, that like to build things, who like to put things together. And that was certainly true if you were in the 1950s, you could buy telescopes, but they were fairly expensive.
Mhm.
And these people wouldn't buy one anyway, they'd build one. And so anyway, not only did we build the mirror, but we had members who were machinists, and they built the mount and all of the gearing and everything for the telescope. And it's interesting that that's described in a history that we put together in 2020 that went back through and interviewed old members and collected all the old pictures and basically told the story of our organization. And that's
So
available on our website.
let me ask you. You said interview. So if I would go to your website, there are like links to interview of, or how did you do it?
Yeah, if you want to take a look at it, what you do is you go to SDBHAS, that's like South Dakota Black Hills Astronomical Society,
Mhm.
SDBHAS.org, and then you just go to, I'd have to look at it. There's the menu headings there, and it basically has a menu heading for history, one of the sub menus, and then you just go into that, and there are several documents with that.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it's got a lot
Uh,
of photos. It's a great little compilation.
mhm, mhm. Interesting. I mean, I agree. History of every organization is important, and so I am pleased, that you do it, and you guys you have your own history.
It's interesting. I think we completed uh, the building and the building of the telescope in the 60s, and completing it about 1966, I think, 65. In 67, vandals broke in and totally wiped out, uh, broke all the mirrors, stole things, and it just decimated the organization. But what was amazing about it is that in the 1970s, then, a couple of high school kids got involved with our group, raised money to pay off the debt for the dome that we had on it, and they put together the next, we call it HVO2 telescope. And so from high school kids kind of resurrected our organization.
Mm.
And I was able to interview those two gentlemen as well for that history. It was a it's a pretty interesting story.
This is really interesting to hear, and this is basically, I believe that resurrection like this can happen actually to every organization because it is not steady. There are bumps and ups and downs, and
We
so.
rely on it.
Do you have monthly meetings of your organization, or how you organize your life?
We have two kinds of meetings. Our business meetings are held from like about October to April, and in the winter months. And we meet monthly at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. Um, and that's when we take care of the business of the organization. We also have um, meetings every the Saturday of the full moon, closest to the full moon. We meet at a local restaurant in Rapid City, and it's a social event, and people have a hamburger and talk about what they're doing with astronomy, and we do a little bit of planning there for events. And then during the summertime, rather than do business meetings, we do star parties.
Mhm.
And so we have once a month, we do public star parties, we do private star parties, and then we have member star parties. And I'm looking forward to our July member star party because we're talking about going to a Bortle 1 area, which is, they're, they're hard to find anymore. But we found one in Montana that is within, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of us here. And so we're going to try and go up there. It's on public land. And so we're going to try and camp out and stay up all night and try and capture some Bortle 1 images.
Wow. Well, but I mean, you in South Dakota, you shouldn't have problem to find number two or number three, right?
I live in a Bortle 4 area. Um, Bortle 3s are fairly common within driving distance for me. Uh, the Badlands National Park is a Bortle 2 area, and that's very close to us here. And they have good skies out there. But I'm not sure that South Dakota has a Bortle 1 area anymore. It's getting worse all the time, as I'm sure you're aware. Our skies are being deteriorated. Too much light pollution.
Well, that's true. That's true. Long time I thought that it's only our problem, astronomers' problem, and more I realized that this is actually everyone's problem.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, it's like 30 years ago we discovered that basically every human being has actually sensor of blue light, and this is how our days are controls. And so basically we shouldn't use too much light, too much bright and white light at night, and sooner or later general public will realize that basically too much light at night is not healthy for us as a humans, for animals, and so I
Animals,
believe that
insects.
insects and
It's
so on. I believe that sooner or later, and I don't know if 5 years or 50 years, but we will have black skies again, dark skies again. So but it will take time. So because it is not only astronomers' problem.
Yeah. It's a huge problem.
Exactly, exactly. But in your case, you are lucky because you don't have to travel, too far away, for real dark skies. So, do you have any programs, public programs or observing programs, or what do you do?
The Well, tonight I'm volunteering with the Badlands National Park Conservancy. They have a dark sky initiative. The park is trying to get their dark sky certification, and we're taking a group of interested people out to the Badlands to view the sun setting and the moon coming up. Uh, they happen within about 1 minute of each other, and as we were saying earlier, astronomy happens all the time, and so that'll be fun. But it's dark. Trying to talk people into dark skies is still a hard sell. Out here, people want to have their yard lights and that kind of thing, but it's a hard sell. They just haven't quite understood what the impact of that is yet.
Mm.
But we do a number of programs with the club in terms of with our public star parties and private star parties. We're always hammering away at what the impact of dark skies and what a positive thing it is. Uh, we also do programs with schools and with scout groups and that kind of thing to talk about uh,
So, what
astronomy.
what what is your star party, which is like very very well recognized, and people are coming from long distances? Do you have something like that?
We do them typically at our observatory. It's called the Hidden Valley Observatory, and uh, we advertise them, and people show up. You know, our biggest star party happens in Custer State Park, which is south of me here. They have probably Bortle 2, Bortle 3 skies down there, and uh, we are able to attract about 300 people in for that star party. So
Wow.
that's a good one. Most of our other ones will bring in anywhere from 6 people to for private star parties to maybe 20, 30 people come in.
Mm.
I always enjoy seeing all the kids show up. They're they're a lot more curious than adults, I think. So
Well, what are your other plans for near future?
right now we began a project probably 10 years ago where we wanted to upgrade the equipment in our observatory. And so we're members of the South Dakota Space Science Consortium. And with them and some private donors, we have been able to upgrade our telescope to a 12-inch Meade. It is an astrophotography rig. It's got the filters, it's got the rotators, and all of that. And it really, we use it as one example at our star parties of what you can do.
Mm.
Okay. And so we have a big screen up and people are able to see what we're capturing. Uh, in the last 2 years, we've been working on swapping out the dome that was built out of sheet metal in the 1960s and put in a regular commercial dome. And we have installed that now. And right now we are saving our money and getting donations in order to make that a dome that can be remotely controlled because we want to be able to afford our members the opportunity to access it from their homes
Mhm.
and to do night sky captures.
Wow. I mean, what I hear, I mean, your club or your association is full of life. I mean, hey, you have I mean, this is very good. Do you do any citizen science projects, or like as an organization or individuals?
You know, we've had people in the past who've done the variable star project. Uh, um, we have members who have like naming rights to a couple of dozen asteroids.
Wow.
Uh, you know, Mostly we are people who either like visual astronomy, want to be able to identify things in the night sky and see what's going on. And we have people who are astrophotographers. Okay. And it seems like there's a growing number of interest in astrophotography. And we're hoping that with the being able to use the telescope in our observatory for astrophotography, people don't have to own a very expensive rig
Mhm.
to be able to process images that we are capturing in it and appreciate them. We do have some members who have telescopes set up in remote locations in California and in Texas, and so they're able to capture many more nights of the month than I can.
Yeah,
And so
which is nowadays amazing,
technology is just changing so quickly with this hobby. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, and there is I think that this is also a challenge, to find that balance, because the excitement is shared. The best excitement is shared excitement, and then if you can if you can talk to your fellow astronomers, in the same room, and so this is the reason to have organization like yours organization, uh, because. Not not all excitement can be shared only on the internet,
That's
and
right.
so the balance is something what all of us we are trying to find.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
One of the things that interests me is that how the how amateur astronomy has just changed so dramatically. In the 50s, when our club was first starting out, well into the 90s, I think, the tinkerers in the community who wanted to get involved in astronomy built their own telescopes. And they ground their own mirrors. And we used to offer classes in grinding mirrors.
mm,
Okay. And so they would get out there and they would, you know, uh, rub two pieces of glass together to make it go. Today, that's not the case. You find very few people who are building their own telescopes, but they are building up their telescopes and with cameras and observatories and that kind of thing, uh, so that they can. It's a different kind of tinker. It's more of an electronics tinkering and equipment tinkering than it is with building things. And so it still involves a lot of tinkering, and that seems to be the people who hang in pretty tight with the hobby.
well, and if I am under dark sky, you know, I am always amazed. Okay, so this is the same situation like several thousand years ago, and those ancient astronomers, they had only their own eyes,
Yeah,
and they were able to figure out unbelievable things which right now we built into electronics and into chips and so on, and so it's easy to press button, but how did they do it, and
they
and
were
so
curious.
exactly. I mean, this is fascinating, and this is where the knowledge and actually excitement actually it is, because uh, at least in my case, I cannot compete with James Webb Telescope pictures or something like that. But I'm always interested in those little things, of understanding and how we found it.
Yeah. In fact, you live in an area, I understand, that does not have an observatory. Is that right?
Yes, unfortunately, we don't.
But the opportunity is available for your club to actually install a telescope in a remote location so that you could uh, see things.
That's
And,
very
and a
true.
number of clubs do that.
Okay, okay. Maybe this is something what we could do. Okay, Hank, it was good to talk to you.
Sure.
Um, I wish you dark skies only, and I am sure that in your area you will have probably more dark skies than in any other area in North Central region.
All
Hank,
right.
it was good to
Take
talk.
care.
Clear skies.
Bye bye.